to Imperfect Knots. So this tutorial is to help you to form a solid granny square. So as opposed to a traditional granny square, which is what this is, we work in clusters of 3s and we have our gaps and things, we would work a solid granny square. So we go into each and every stitch. I quite like to use a solid granny square. I used it to make my Christmas Gonk Blanket, for example. I just think it gives more of a solid look. Quite like this one for cardigans and things, but I do like this one for a blanket. Makes it a bit more snug in my little opinion. So let's get on with it. So to start, you will need, obviously some instructions are always helpful. Some yarn, your hook. I'm using a 4mm hook. You will need a needle to sew in those little ends at the end of the project, and some scissors. Okay, so to start we need to form a slip knot. So wrap your yarn around your finger, form a cross underneath, wrap it over and just pull that back loop over your finger like so. Insert it onto your hook and put it on, not too tight. And then we want to chain 4. So yarn over and simply put it through. So there's 1, 2, yarn over, pull through 3 and 4. So you have a nice little chain of 4. And then we just want to slip stitch into this first chain. So insert your hook, pick up your yarn, pull it through. It's a little bit fiddly, and then just pull it through. So you have a teeny tiny circle on your hook. And then we begin with round 1. So we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and this chain will class as a treble. So then we are going to do 2 trebles into the center of that hook. So there's another one. Whoopsie. So, and then the second treble, so yarn over, insert your hook into the center, pull through your yarn, so you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there's our first side of our square. Then to create the corner, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to work 3 trebles back into the center of that circle. So there's 1. Oops. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull it through for 2. Yarn over, insert your hook. Perfect. And there's another side. So that's 2 sides we've now got of our square. Again, chain 2 to form that corner. And then we're just going to repeat that process another 2 times. So 3 trebles into the center, chain 2 and 3 trebles, and I will meet you when you've done the 4th set of your trebles. Okay, so you've now got the 4 treble clusters. So to finish this round off, we're just going to chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from where we started. So insert your hook, pick up your yarn and just pull it through. And that's round 1. So at the moment, round 1 still looks like the traditional granny square because we worked in the clusters of 3. So this is now where it changes, obviously. So round 2, we are going to just turn our work, and we're going to slip stitch into that corner again as we did with the traditional granny square. And we're going to chain 3, which again counts as a treble. Now, our corners are going to be slightly different now. So this is 1 treble. We're going to now do another treble into this corner space. So yarn over, insert into that corner space, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you've now got essentially 2 trebles that form the first part of that corner. And then you've got 3 trebles, and we're going to work into each of these 3 trebles for round 2. So work into the top of this next one. So that's 1 treble, 2. So you're working 1 treble into each of those 3 trebles below. Oh, make sure you pick it up. Okay. So you've essentially now got 5 trebles along there, and we're going to work 2 more trebles into this corner space, as this is part of then forming the corner. So 1 and 2. My ball of yarn is going everywhere. Let's just do that. There we go. So that's the first stage of the corner, and that is 1 edge of your square. So then chain 2, and then to finish off your corner, we're going to work another 2 trebles into this corner space. So that's 1 and 2. And then we're going to repeat that process. So we're going to work 3 trebles across into each of those 3 below. So 1 treble, sorry, into each of the 3 trebles below. So then that's 1, 2, more fingers and thumbs, and 3. And then we're going to finish off that corner as we did before. So working 2 trebles into that corner space. 1, 2. And then we're just going to repeat this process all the way around. So again, you're going to chain 2, 2 more trebles into the corner, 1 into each of the 3 below, 2 into the corner, chain 2, and keep going. And work all the way around until you get back to the corner that we started in. When you've done these 3 trebles, I'll meet you there. Okay, so on your 4th edge, you've just worked the 2 into the corner space and your 3 into the 3 below. We're then just going to do 2 more into this corner space. So 2 more trebles into the corner space that we started in. 1, 2. Then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we made at the start to join your square. And that is round 2. Obviously we've got this tail which we'll sew in at the end. So then for round 3, again, turn your work and slip stitch into that corner space. And then to start, we will chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, which again classes as a treble. So we're going to do another treble into there. And then like before, we're going to do a treble into every stitch below. So for this round, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. So 1 treble into the 7 treble stitches below to form the side of our solid granny square. So this is number 3, 4, 5, 6, get some yarn, and number 7. And then just the same as with the row below, we're going to work into that corner space now to work our corner. So we do 2 trebles, which also then completes this edge of our granny square. Chain 2 and 2 trebles. And then we are going to repeat that process all the way round to our starting corner. So in your corner is 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles. And then on this round, it's 7 trebles into the trebles below and work your corner again. So do that all the way round until you get to the 7th one on the round 4, and I'll meet you just to finish off that corner. Okay, so you've done your 7 along that last edge. So then we're going to just work into that corner again. So we're going to do 2 trebles, 1, oopsie, 2, and then to finish off, oh look, I dropped it, 2, and then to finish off we chain 2, and we slip stitch into the chain 3 of that, the third chain, sorry, of that chain 3 from the beginning. Oh, voila. And that is how you do a solid granny square. So you just keep going now until it is the desired size that you want it to be. Just to fasten it off, I just do a chain stitch, couldn't think then, and then obviously snip off your yarn, put it through, tighten it up, and then I would just sew in that end. And there's your solid granny square, all complete for you to do whatever you wish. Enjoy!